Hi, I'm Dennis Wade, and we're at the Storage Visions 2013 conference in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is associated with Consumer Electronics Show, the largest consumer electronics show, I believe, in the world. And I have with me today Rob Commins with Tagile. Tagile's got a lot of new designed equipment that they've introduced, and they're talking to the audience today. And it's a combination of storage equipment that encompasses the disk drive and semiconductor drive, giving the user a very high performance access to his data with lower cost than flat semiconductor memory. And I'm going to have Rob explain a little bit about the markets, his technology, where they're going in the near-term future. Rob?
Yep. Thank you, Dennis. In terms of the markets that we're addressing, there's really three primary areas that we find that customers really like our value proposition of that balancing performance with capacity. It's enterprises that are getting very aggressive with server consolidation. We're looking at virtual desktops, or looking at a way to cost effectively optimize their database. And the way they do that, as you touched on earlier, is we use solid state disk and a large pool of DRAM as a very large cache in the front end that accelerates our I/O. And we have systems that range between 30,000 up to 200,000 I/Os per second. But with the spinning disk on the back end of the array, we're able to resolve the end user cost down to $1 per gigabyte.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Major help.
Yeah, thank you. And the way we do that is we put both compression and deduplication algorithms at the front end of the array. So obviously in the back end, we're storing more capacity on those disks, but it also has a performance boost on that large cache pool, because the host thinks it's got between, let's say, 3 to 5 times more cache than it physically has. So our cache hit ratios go through the roof, and customers see that benefit instantly.
Do you have algorithms that calculate the most used data, so the most used data is constantly stored in a DRAM?
That's correct. Yep. So we actually we use a very powerful caching algorithm, as opposed to, let's say, some vendors use a tiering mechanism. Mm-hmm. We just use very classic caching algorithms to that. They're very purpose-built for high-performance media. If a customer wants to get even more aggressive than that, we deliver the ability to pin data in solid state in DRAM and make sure it stays there 100% of the time, so we can guarantee that high quality of service.
So for the expanding cloud markets, and we've heard for the last 2 days, lots of activity on cloud. Everything is going to the cloud, and your system would be ideally designed to be used in a cloud environment, either a company cloud or a universal cloud that's used in conjunction with a large server.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. So we sell a lot to medium-sized enterprises building out their own cloud that they've got their virtualization platform on top of. We've got a nice piece of our business in the regional service provider market, where they're delivering what I like to call gigabyte months, kind of like a kilowatt hour you deliver to the end user. And you can start to see what the deduplication savings would do to the cost structure to that service. So those savings can get passed on to the end user. And then our third big segment is in higher education. We're actually giving students a virtual desktop instance along with their class roster. And be able to cost effectively do that, of course, is a big deal for the universities.
Rob, where do you see the technology going in terms of looking ahead 3, 4, 5 years? What areas are you concentrating in as a company to try and solve future needs?
Sure. One thing we see is, I'm sure you've seen all week here, people talking about solid state and flash. It's kind of the new big flashy thing, if you will. But we believe that spinning disk will always have a place in the data storage market for the foreseeable future. Those cost curves continue to go down, and we will always be balancing out the maximum performance we can deliver with the lowest cost capacity we can in that hybrid array. So we'll continue to leverage that and add more and more function into our software to deliver even higher performance and lower cost out of the same subsystem.
Yeah, we've heard just in the last couple of days that the storage factor between solid state and hard disk drives is about 10 to 1. The hard disk drives being much lower, and a lot of people are very sensitive towards that. If we look at forecasts from the analysts into the future, that ratio, the costs all go down, but that ratio basically doesn't change very much because the disk drives aren't seeing the enormous technology growth and capacity as they once did, and the semiconductors are already at a fairly high volume, so they don't get as big a benefit year to year over higher volumes. Are you seeing some of the same things?
Sure, many of the flash pundits we talk to say that ratio go down from 10 to 4 to 1, but then so I say, okay, so the cost of an all-flash array is still 4 times the cost of a spinning disk array. Right, so if I can still merge those together in the same array and deliver the performance as required, but still resolve to a rational dollars per gigabyte, I'm able to deliver the best of both worlds out of the same array.
Well, Rob, we wish you a lot of luck, and thank you for spending the time with us.
Thank you, Sue.
Okay.